Know what it is. Now look, I was in the studio spitting that fire like I always do for my mixtape, which drops in July. And I looked at the calendar and I thought, oh shit, it's almost Valentine's Day and you ain't even got a date, dog. That's wild. I've been out here grinding so hard. So hard I've been out here grinding that I ain't even have time for love. That's bugged. But what could I do? Valentine's Day is around the corner. And then I had a thought. Rather than going to the streets and trying to holler at these shorties or go to the club and act mad thirsty, I would just post a video on my page and let the ladies who are looking for a Valentine's Day date know that your boy Big Willie Get Silly is available. Now, before anybody watching this video comments some stupid shit or ask me a dumb question, no, I do not fuck with dating apps because, as we all know, it's just a government conspiracy so they can get more information about you so they can charge you more taxes. Facts! If you don't believe me, consider this. Why is Valentine's Day so close to tax day? That's all I'm going to say about it. You can do your own research. It's on the YouTubes, dog. Stay woke. All right, now I'm going to keep it moving because a girl might ask, why would I want to date Big Willie Get Silly? That's a good question. You smart. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Big Willie Get Silly is a good date. Reason number 1, I'm a good dude. That's right. Now, what does that mean? That can mean so many things. Here's an example. If you're trying to slide through and see your boy Big Willie Get Silly, let's say we're in a relationship, because I am trying to build with someone, and you're like, damn, how am I going to get over there? I'm going to pay for that Metro card, girl. It's no problem for me. So you're thinking to yourself, damn, Will's a good dude. He's going to pay for my Metro card to get over there. All I got to worry about is coming back. Nah, I'm paying round trip, girl. That's right. 2 ways, girl, because I'm a real one, okay? A lot of you fucking with dudes that won't even pay 1 trip. 1 trip? Nah, I'm a real one. Everybody fucks with me because I'm a good dude. Even parents fuck with me. Let's say you want to take me to go meet your parents. Not on the first date. Let's not jump out the window. But let's say eventually, because like I mentioned, I am trying to build, you do take me to meet your parents. Guaranteed they will fuck with me. That's the Big Willie Get Silly money back guarantee. All right? Reason number 2, I'm going to take you on a fancy date, girl. Now, look, I don't know where we're going to go specifically because I don't know what your dietary restrictions are. And I care about you, girl. As I mentioned previously, I'm a good dude. So I don't know where I'm going to take you. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to pick a restaurant that is going to have you with diarrhea or some shit. To be honest, that's a bad experience for both of us. So, but I will say what kind of level you're going to expect. You could expect that at least we're going to do Cheesecake Factory level, girl. That's right. I'm looking to spend at least 75 beans on this date, girl. It's nothing to me. And let's say we do go to Cheesecake Factory and you want to take an extra piece of cheesecake home for ladies or for your friends. I'm with it. It's no problem. Because I'm trying to have a good time. I'm trying to show you a good time. I'm a good dude, all right? See number 1 if you keep forgetting that, okay? Now, number 3, last but certainly not least, I got bars. That's right, all right? A lot of you fucking with dudes that don't got no bars or say they got bars, they definitely don't got bars like your boy Big Willie Get Silly. I'm a real one, certified USDA realness. Check the FDA website. I am registered, all right? Now look, I got bars. So what that means for you is I'm going to write at least a 16 about my experience with you and about how beautiful you are and about how important you are in this world. You know what I mean? At least a 16. I might go crazy right at 32. Or if the date's going really good, I might spaz, do a cannabis and do like 1,000 bars just on how dope you are. Because that's how I am. Okay? I got bars. It's no problem for me. So, anyway, that's it. I mean, really, there's nothing more to say. I mean, I think I pretty much made my case pretty clear.
Hello, 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 hello. This is ICMTU, which is short for I Can't Make This Up. It's a live comedy show hosted by AJDUNK, spelled all caps. ICMTU brings people together from different backgrounds by sharing true stories that have happened in their lives. This episode is brought to you by Black ass people. So if you are a black ass person and you doing something, this episode is for you. Make sure y'all go out and support our black people. And black people, why y'all ain't telling me to get on GameStop? Huh? You should have told me to get that. You should have told me to get that, man. I could have invested. Listen, I could have went and traded in a game, took that money and put it back in the stock market and then walked back up in there and be like, here you go. You're welcome. And we would have both been happy. Then I would have walked out with a Nintendo Switch or something else, whatever it may be. But black people, we got to help black people. This one right here is for us. All right. I think it's about that time. Big Willie Get Silly, spell one word, all caps. Please bring in. Hey, what's good, everybody? What's up? What's good? Hello, it's your boy, AJDUNK. It's Thirsty Thursday, and I know you're thirsty for some comedy. So, and if you're thirsty for something else, now's your time to go get it. Because while you getting ready, I'ma get ready. Okay, so get your sips, get your smokes, and take your shits. Whatever you need to do that, because you got about 2 minutes before I bring my guest in. So, while y'all getting ready, I'm going to get ready myself. So here goes my guy, Uzi Marcelino, with None of That. Let's get it.
Uzi Marcelino, Maserati spot up, baby. We here. Later, we got another one. All of that tough talk, I ain't with none of that. All of that frontin' and all of your rhymes, I ain't with none of that. None of that mumble rap, I ain't with none of that. I remember they was frontin' on me, now look where I'm at. All of that fake love, I don't want none of that. I ain't with none of that. I ain't with none of that. If you ain't about your paper, I ain't with none of that. You be talking paper, ain't getting none of that.
Cambo.
Smoke, they don't want none of that. See it through the shirt, they know what's under that. Niggas getting money, well I need some of that. Niggas tough on the net, don't want none of that. See them in real life, where all the subbing at? You don't want none of that. I put you under that. You're right, I put you under that. Me, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. Niggas subbing me, but know where I'm at. They can hit my check, don't want none of that. None of that, none of that. They just front like that. Ain't about none of that. None of that, none of that. They don't want no beef. They know what come with that. Red lights, nigga. I gotta go with that.
Hey, and then we gonna end on that note right there. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Everybody, hope you're back. Hope you got your sips, hope you got your smokes, and I hope you got your shits out, because we about to get it cracking. All right, you dig? All right, yeah. Now, it's about that time for the group, the one and only to bring us in, the group Salt, Pepper, Ketchup. featuring my guy, Jesus, the Bodega Cat, on the vocals. All right, so everybody.
You know I can't make this up. Neither can our guests. That's why we have them on here. You know we can't make this up. Neither can our guests. That's
You know I can't make this up. Neither can I guess. That's why we have them on here. You know I can't make this up. Neither can my guest. That's why we have them on here. See, that's the best part about being the host, baby. On I Can't Make This Up. When we have technical difficulties, we don't have human difficulties. We make it up what we got to do, baby. And that is welcome to another episode of I Can't Make This Up. I am your host, AJDUNK, spelled all caps. You can find me at www.ajdunk.com. From there, you got my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter. It's all located at ajdunk.com. So right now, we on the Litverse, and when you're done enjoying the night at the Litverse, you can go over to ajdunk.com and subscribe. You can see skits, you can see stand-up, and you can see the soup of the day. It's a lot going on over there. Go to ajdunk.com and you will be able to see everything that is available. Okay? But right now we are on the Litverse. Make sure you subscribe so you can get an alert to let you know when we are live and when the next episode of I Can't Make This Up is coming out and when other material is being sent out to you live on the Litverse. Okay? Now that we up in here, right? We had like little minor things that happened, but we good. We coasting, baby. We riding that wave. We riding that wave. So I consider all my guests to be special. When they're taking the time out of their day to be on an episode of I Can't Make This Up, I have to consider them to be special. So if you would, Big Willie Get Silly, spelled all caps, all one word, would you please help my guests come in so they can introduce yourself?
Hey,
What's up?
hey, I'm Big Al, aka Al Boogie or Al Bouge. Just kidding, not Al Bougie. Al Boogie, Alexandra Sanchez. Good to see you.
You two as well. All those names. I'll try to keep up. I mean, I think I got most of them, 4 or 5 of them. I'll keep up. I'll keep up. Just hope you keep up if I call you by one of them and not the other one, unless are we sticking with one? Which one we going with?
I would stick with Al Boogie with 4 E's because you can find me anywhere with that one.
Word. All right, we're gonna go with Al Boogie. So that's who we're dealing with today. Al Boogie. If you're going on Instagram and you look for Al Boogie. More names than Method Man. John Blaze.
That's what I'm shooting for.
There you go. Hey, Wu-Tang forever. So how are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel good because I'm here. I've been looking forward to this.
Good. Oh, that's what's up. Okay. Now, I like to check in with all my guests because my guests come from all over and I just like to see where they are. So right now I am in Jersey City. I'm repping Jersey City. So where is it that you are repping?
I'm repping Queens, New York.
Queens. Okay, Queens. All right. I go there about twice a month via Coming to America. Yeah, that's right. The only way that I'm going to find out there. That's it. With Eddie Murphy and our that's about that. It's far for me.
I never came here before I moved here, so twice a month is a lot.
Yeah. But you gotta do it.
Now I do. Now I do gotta do it.
Yeah. Queens.
Queen.
Once the pandemic happened, I did have a good amount of guests from Queens. So what this is, but all right, I'm with it. Fuck it. They showing up, so I'm gonna be with them. Queens it is. Queens.
That's it.
Al Boogie, are you
Yeah.
ready for me to explain to everybody what is about to happen?
I'm prepared.
All right, everybody. If you're tuned in and this is your, or if this is your 250th time, or you just looking over the person's shoulder because you in trouble and you ain't got no say on what you can watch, don't worry. I'm gonna explain to you what is about to happen. So myself, AJDUNK, spelled all caps, the host of I Can't Make This Up, invite guests here to share true stories that have happened in their life. We got a little difficulties today, but we riding through it. If you can't hear, it's all right. I will repeat myself. So like I said, I invite guests here to share true stories that have happened in their life. I have not heard this story before, so everybody's gonna hear it for the first time. I'm gonna be hearing it just along with you all. Okay? So while Al Boogie is telling this story, comment. You can run your hand. I don't care. Comment until you don't have fingerprints anymore, okay? I want you to type. Because while you're typing, I'm going to be listening to the story, and I'm also going to be writing down notes. Because once the story is done, I'm going to be asking questions about the story. I have questions because you got to have questions for these stories. These true stories, you can't just be like, oh, okay, and accept it. We got to ask questions. So while the story is being told, comment. But if you have a specific question, in the comments, put a couple question marks so we can see it, all right? Couple question marks so we can see it. So if you want to say something like, oh my gosh, how long did it take you to measure those pictures to make sure they are perfectly centered and straight? Then you put that in the comments. If it applies to the story, we will pop it up and get the answer to that. All right? So, Al Boogie, I just have one last question for you before you tell this story.
Yeah.
Do you pinky promise that this story is true?
I pinky promise. What?
We official here. That's how we do over here. So, please share the story that you cannot make up.
Can do. Someone in the chat just asked if these are all diplomas. Yes. Just kidding. No, those are all pictures of flowers up there. So the story goes as follows. When I was a wee lass of just 19 years old, I went on a trip to the Dominican Republic. It was a volunteer trip, and the way this trip started was a guy came screaming in my lecture hall in school, speaking of diplomas. I don't know if you guys ever sat in a lecture hall and someone just makes an announcement and it's just someone screaming at you. But for me, I was sold. I said, I'm going to invest in this volunteer trip. I'm 19. I said, this is it. This makes sense to me. I'm going to put money into this type of trip.
Oh, shit.
So I paid to go volunteer abroad for a month. So that's the chaos this story starts with, just FYI. So I go with a bunch of other kids from a bunch of other schools. There's about 30 of us. And we go to DR to volunteer to build houses, teach English, and clean up like a natural garbage dump, right? And for me, the part I was most excited about was cleaning the natural garbage dump. I'll tell you why. Because we're all put into groups, like we all rotate with what we're gonna do for, like, one group does the house building, one group does the English teaching, and one group does the garbage dump, and they rotate. And as the people who were doing the garbage dump came back, you saw them in their wetsuits. So I was excited about the fit. I didn't care about the garbage dump. I didn't care that it was very disgusting and years and years and years of garbage. I said, I'm trying to look fly. Do you understand? So I put on, the day comes when Alex gets to put on the wetsuit. It got a little utility belt. You put your little gloves in the utility belt. And of course, I matched that with regular ass, disgusting sneakers. It's fine. So we go do the garbage dump thing. All the garbage is like along a riverbed. We clean that up, put up some garbage cans, and then we walk down the river. So we're walking down the river, and I'm excited just because we did what we did, and I'm wearing my wetsuit. And if I pee in my wetsuit, I'm not peeing in the river. I just get pee shorts. That's what happens when you pee in a wetsuit. It stays in there.
Yo!
Anyway, so you keep walking, and we get to a dip, like a fall, a cliff. Okay, we get to the cliff, and everyone, before the group leader, we have a group leader allegedly, but remember, this is chaos. Our group leader is not certified in anything. He's just a guy who's from the town. You can tell. Everybody remember, the volunteer trip started with a guy yelling at us. I knew it. I know my land, and that is just a guy that lived there. I know it. So everyone just starts jumping off this 15-foot cliff without him even telling us to go. And I never have to ask myself, like, if everyone's jumping off, would you do it? The answer is yes. I just did it because everyone else looked really happy doing it. It was only 15 feet, and they looked to be surviving. So I said, all right, let's go for it. Everybody's laughing and jumping. I laugh, I land, we're good. But I lose my gloves. This is important. Gloves are gone. So we land in this other pool of water. It's not super deep, but deep enough to jump into. And we walk a little further, and we get to another dive, fall. This one's like 100 feet.
Shit.
Okay. All right. This is when I start pacing. This is when I get nervous. I said, no, sir, no, ma'am. This is not where my life ends. The guy goes, group leader goes, it's time to jump. Time to jump, guys. I said, I can't go back. I cannot climb up that cliff. We just jumped. I said, then I stay here. In my head, I said, I stay right here. This is where I live for the rest of my life. Then he goes, just kidding, guys. You're going to rappel. I said, thank God. This guy's crazy. That's what the utility belt was for. We're going to rappel. As if I had ever rappelled before. I'm like, we nailed it. As long as I don't have to jump. Mind you, what we're rappelling off, my friends, is a waterfall. So I'm wearing sneakers, like a whole wetsuit and sneakers. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm good with this. In order to rappel down this waterfall, I have to be hooked up with my little utility belt. And I have to walk across the top of the waterfall to get hooked up. Waterfalls rush tons of water. So I'm not even scared of rappelling at this point. I'm scared of walking across the top of the waterfall to get to the guy who's going to hook me up. Spoiler alert, I make it. Even though in my head, I'm thinking, whoosh, I'm just going to be whooshed up. I'm not whooshed up. I get to the guy hooks me up, and I don't know why I wasn't scared of just backing down, but I don't know. I probably blacked out. So I'm rappelling down, lowering myself, no gloves, remember that. Lowering myself. The guy's on top being like, yeah, let's go for it. Other people are like, yeah. He's getting smaller, but somehow louder. And he's like, ah. And I'm like, yes, brother, yes, I'm making it down. I got this. Then he's like, still yelling, a little bit more panicked. I'm like, okay, cool. Yes. I see him sort of going like this. I'm like, are we dancing? We're not dancing. I noticed my rope is kind of diagonal, and I was like, I could make it all the way down on a diagonal ass rope. Friends, I could not make it all the way down on a diagonal ass rope. He was telling me the rope was about to take me to the other side of the waterfall, and it did. So I swing across the other side. I'm alive. Are my knuckles there? The skin is not, the knuckles are there. So I don't even notice. I don't even notice that my hand is a bloody fucking mess. Sorry, guys. But I make it to the bottom. I'm in the pool of water. I survived it. And that is the end of that. We go down another waterfall, and that one is so beautiful that I'm looking up from under it. And at the end of the day, losing my knuckles, I don't know if you guys have ever, well, not losing them, they're still here. I don't know, guys, if you guys have ever played Egyptian rat screw, but we only had card games. So I won a lot of the card games because you have to slap your hand down, and nobody wanted to slap my disgusting knuckles. And that's the end of my story. You can decide.
First thing that I'm like, hold on, Egyptian rat screw?
Yeah, we started calling it Slappy Rat, and then Slappy Rat kneecap, and then Slappy Rat tap. It was a long couple of weeks. We had no electricity, no walls. It was amazing.
Is that like spit when you got to put the cards down
yes,
and go in order?
Like spit. It's exactly like spit. So, you got to be like this, and everyone's looking at like disgusting, because after they're bloody, they're scarred. They're scarred, bro. No one wants to slap that. I won every time.
Oh, I got to. Okay, I'm popping up these comments because, yeah. Yes, it gets hot in there. Oh, and what you said was like, that's how you make it a wetsuit.
That's how you.
When you were like, that's how you make it a wetsuit? By pissing. Yes. By pissing in it.
Oh, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Because I really didn't need it any other reason except for, pee-pee.
Okay, and then we got some love for you. Yeah, she's amazing. Love you, sister. Some shouts. Ow!
Hey.
Oh, somebody said, I want to see that look. Yes. What color?
Photos.
What color was this wetsuit?
Don't you worry, Rick.
What color was it?
It was black, sleek.
Was this
what color the sneakers were though?
This I hope this wasn't like some S&M type very
kind of like it kind of looked like this cool. It's like having a leather jacket all over your body. And when you're 19, you're like, that's literally, at least when I'm 19, that's all I want. Leather jacket all over my body.
And in DR, the sun glistening, the water sparkling. And then
I was living.
Then we had this wetsuit and sneakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fit. Do you understand me?
Yeah, that part. Somebody was like, I'm stressed at this point. Yeah.
I saw that. I was going to tell you not to get stressed, but I got you.
Her shimmy got me too.
I'm pretty sure I did shimmy.
Yes. Yeah. I hit something like that. Oh my gosh. Ooh, here's a good question. Do you still have the scars?
I think they just recently disappeared. I had like one left on my ring finger knuckle, but it's been a long time. I am older than 19. I used to love those scars. That story was, I never told the story, but I just really like the scars because it looks like, I was out here fighting.
You know what? I can't make this up. And I love to keep it real on here. So I'm just going to tell you, when you said that you had them sneakers on, and you had to walk across that waterfall, since we're here and we're able to talk about it, I was kind of hoping that the waterfall took you over. Just for the sake of the story.
Got it. I was going to say, spoiler alert, I didn't die. But I'm telling you, as I was walking across, that's all I pictured. I said, this is the end. You never, I'm looking at my sneakers go down the waterfall, and every step, I was like, this is it. This is the last.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have thought that's how the story ends, too. That's what I did think.
Oh, well, it wouldn't have ended because you're here to tell it. That's why. But if told me.
Allegedly, I'm here. You know what I mean?
That's what the OWL stands for. Allegedly.
Allegedly Boogie. Oh, that's the one.
And when you were like, oh yeah, and then I'm going down this rope. Another thing, I try to guess. I try to guess all the time, and my percentages are going lower and lower and lower how much I'm right. And I was like, all right, so boom, that rope is going to tear up all your palms. No, it tore up the outside of your hands somehow, some way. I'm like, okay. Oh, and good question. So good question right here. Were all knuckles messed up?
Good question. It was one hand. It was one hand. So I think because I swung across, I think my whichever hand was under. Not gonna lie, I can't remember. But only one hand, like most knuckles were destroyed. But only one hand. The other one was probably lefty, because if I'm slapping with righty.
Okay. All right.
Good
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Great question.
And then no one told you. This is a great question. Goddess Vic V. Nobody said bring water shoes.
Look. They probably did. I was feeling myself at 19. That's all I know. But also, like, when you go on these trips, you don't really know that you're going to be dying almost every day. So you're not prepared with water shoes, you know what I mean, for death.
I'm, you know, I don't think anybody told you, because nobody told you to jump off that first 10-foot cliff.
When I think about how easy it was for me to just follow other people because they were smiling, it's tough. That's tough to think about. Why you just jump? Because everyone looks happy. Ow.
Now, we got to know.
Did you cry? No, I did not cry. And I don't even know why. I think I didn't cry because I was just excited that I was making it down the waterfall. And I think, like, the surprise of being whisked across and being alive was, like, enough for me. And then, like, wait after I was in the water, and I'm not positive if, like, my open wounds burned as I'm, like, wading the water, but I think, again, over and over, just happy to be alive. Later, it probably hurt.
And that fresh water might have been good for it in the moment.
Actually didn't work out so well for open.
Oh, good question. So be cute or die are the options.
Look, you already know what it is. It's be cute, you know? Be cute and look cute dead.
Right. You got to leave a lasting impression for them, you know what I mean?
I'm in my casket in a wetsuit? You better believe. Yeah. Looking fly. Do you understand me?
Oh my gosh. Oh, there was something I was going to ask. Yes. So that one mission that you did,
yes.
How does that compare to all the rest of the ones that you had to do?
They're all like this. There's horseback riding along a mountainside that perhaps, you know, this mountainside didn't have any trail. It didn't have you don't have any barriers. So we could have easily and the horses are very small, and you could tell they weren't fed. So the horses they could have been like, girl, I'm out. I'm done with this. So there was caving. I really did almost die caving. Because do you understand that we had wetsuits on again, but this time we duct taped boots to the bottom. And when you're caving, you go under some of the stalagmites. And as I'm going under, my boot filled up. Can't swim. I mean, I can swim if my boots aren't full of water, but I couldn't move my old legs. Luckily, one of my friends pulled me up because that was a wrap for Big Al. It was dead Al.
Yo. Oh gosh. Okay. Formal. Were you in shock? And did you feel when you saw all the?
No, friends, let me tell you something about me. I'm clumsy. So I've fallen a lot. Like I used to trip and fall all the time. I've fallen down marble steps. I've fallen down. I just used to fall down flights of steps a lot. That's just who I am. So
So you were prepared for this?
I was very prepared. Blood ain't no thing for a girl like me.
Oh, great comment. It's better to look marvelous than to feel marvelous. I'm with you.
That's the one. That's the one. I wonder what my messaging is right now. Let's remember, I was 19.
Okay, so do you remember the speech that this person gave when to the lecture hall to make you say, "Ooh, I want to do"?
He had to. I just remember I was like, this guy is on drugs, and I said, this is amazing, because I don't know that I could fully understand everything he was saying. I heard Dominican Republic. I was like, yes, that's it. And he was like, you know those flailing inflatable men? That's kind of what he was like. Yes. So I didn't hear many words. I saw this and I heard Dominican Republic, and I was like, yes. I woke up because we all know I was asleep in lecture. I woke up and I said, this is the one. I don't remember what he said.
Yo, that's movie shit. That's movie level shit.
Where? Like what? Would I make a decision based on that today? Probably not.
So we've learned from this.
Great experience though. Made excellent friends. Wonderful time.
Oh. Someone and be home. How
That's
soon
exactly
was it?
what it is. Living in a van down by the river. That's exactly what it was. And then I fell into a table.
How soon was this trip after the?
Ooh, good question. Probably a number of months, because it was during the summer, if I'm not mistaken, and then the lecture hall was sometime during the year. So probably like 6 months or something. Good question.
Oh wow! So you had a lot to think about this.
But we all know I wasn't thinking. I think we all know. You know what I was doing? I was gathering money so that I could almost die. I said, I'm going to save this money up so I can go volunteer. I'm not even mad. Yeah, Maria Sanchez was very supportive because my mom's from there. She was like, yes, let's do it. I had no phone while I was there. Had she known what was going on, perhaps not as supportive.
So once you got back, did you tell your mom then what happened?
I did, but I feel like when you hear the stories, it's not like, she's like, well, you live.
Oh, you good. You still got knuckles? All right, then you good. Fuck it. All right, help me with this trash.
Exactly. Come do these dishes. I don't want to hear this now. That's what it was.
Oh my gosh. Boy. Oh, yeah.
Yes, no better way to feel alive than to almost die. That's exactly it. That's why I really appreciate this story, because that's not like, I don't look back on that and not like the trip. It makes me like the trip more.
Because you can talk about it.
What's that?
Because you can talk about it.
Because I can talk about it. Again, allegedly.
Yes. Throw some Vicks on that. Yeah.
Yes, Vivaporu or Windex. Fair.
Oh, a question that I saw earlier that I have to pop up. Were you the first one to go down this mountain? This waterfall?
I was thinking about that. I think I was top 5. If not like the first top 5, because I can't remember anybody else walking over that waterfall before me, but I'm pretty sure people did, because there were people at the bottom, but I think it was like 2 people. I certainly wasn't one of the last because Al would have tried making her way back already. By the time those people were like, if 8 people were ahead of me, I would have been like on my way back, trying to backwards rappel. I don't even know what that looks like. Climb, backwards rappel is climb, friends.
Yo, I'm just like, 100 feet. I think I'd have been like, all right, fuck it, jump. I would have rather and be like, all right, let me see where everybody going to be. Make sure it's deep enough.
Right.
Could you have jumped? Now, when you got down depth of the water, could you have jumped?
If I had seen other people, whoa, you have like 100 feet. I'll never forget how scared I was of that. I said I will pass out halfway down the jump. I would not have jumped that. I promise I would have like set up camp in the middle of the riverbed at that point. I don't know why, but jumping that was like, no. It was a hard no, but being swung across the waterfall, I said, nailed it. My rationale was not.
I was like, fuck it, let's get this over with.
Yes. I think that's what it was.
Get him out!
What happened?
Somebody said, so your mom saw the knuckles and didn't believe the story. No, mom believed the story.
She believed it.
She didn't really care, like as in like worry.
Yes. And I think that was also partially due to my telling, because I don't think any of us really want to worry our parents to the point where they're like, you can never do that again. And I kind of wanted the opportunity to do that again. Granted, I'm 19. She can't particularly tell me what to do, but I'm also my age and she kind of still can too. So
listen,
look,
it don't matter where we come from.
Okay.
You see this right here?
Yeah.
This tone, this thing we call tone.
Okay.
No matter how old we get, we can still get an ass whooping or something that will put us in check.
This is all I'm trying to say. This is why when I told it to my mom, I don't think she knows any of these. I was probably like, Mom, we jumped. That's it.
Yeah, I know all these details. I know you did.
No way. There's no way. She'd have been like, you are not leaving this house. You're not going back to college. Good luck. Would have been a wrap.
Yeah. For those that are watching, I'm sorry if that wasn't explained because I understood that. I understood that from the beginning. It was like, did you tell your mother? Yeah. So Mom, we went horseback riding. We went down the cliff. We planted plants and we fed the locals. Nah, it wasn't like, at 2 a.m. we was in the alleyway finding people be like, yo, do you need some food? You didn't know that the horses had malnutrition. So at any time they could have kicked us off and cooked us up. Like, nah, it's just this.
Thank you. Also, how'd you know about the alleyway? We definitely went down the alleyway.
Cause you Al Boogie, you gotta be in the alleyway. Come on. I told you this not my first time. This not my first time. I know what I'm doing.
You are all knowing. No, Maria did not get the full story.
See, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name Malahaje.
That's Mila J.
See, that's why I don't even do the name.
I like your pronunciation.
Malahaje. Sounds like a perfume that you go Malahaje. Yes,
you like perfumes. You like the smell good.
And in fact, the chocolate would have came out. The chocolate would have flew with no passport. Got there, bam.
I would have jumped. Okay, that's when I would have jumped off the 100-footer if Mom was coming with the chocolate. That's when I jumped. That's the one. That's the one. I said, that's me jumping. You can see.
Oh, all right. If anybody has any last questions, last comments, please submit them now. Whew, boy, I'm getting lightheaded just thinking about being up that high.
Look, I recommend it though. I recommend it to one and all.
Just not with that group.
Even with that group, especially with that group, you get to know what you'll do. We went whitewater rafting too. Everybody fell out of the thing.
Okay. So they're really asking me, and they're pushing this. So let's see, because I'm pulling up all the questions. I've read the question, but we'll see what's the answer to this. Who will play you in the biopic?
Whew, it's tough. The little girl from, she's not little anymore, from Blackish, Marseille Martin. She will play me if that's a Marseille.
Who you expect to be jumping off of this cliff?
It will probably have to be me, friends, if we're being honest. Or maybe like, I feel like Tom Cruise does his own stunts. It would be him somehow. Don't do blackface Tom Cruise. But
he'll just wear the nice wetsuit.
I don't know anybody who would do that. It would either be me or Marseille. Or Gabrielle Union.
Ooh. Dwayne Wade would be waiting in the water naked.
He's the guy who hooks up the rappel thing. That's the one.
All right. Thank you for when is Al coming back?
Hey, I would love
Be a what? Be a here? When Al has another amazing story that cannot be made up.
Oh, I do have another Lit Verse show coming up in February on the 19th.
Oh, right after Valentine's Day. Okay. All right.
Yes. I just want to invite you all to come. That will be a musical comedy show that I created and put together last year, but clearly couldn't happen. And now Lit Verse is doing me the honor of producing it.
Wow.
It's gonna be fun.
So everybody, in order to know when it's going to happen, and you don't, this is one thing. Okay, listen to everybody. Everybody listen to me real.
I'm listening.
Everybody else.
Oh, sorry.
Artists, we don't have time. We do not, I repeat, we do not have time to email, text, call each person individually. Okay? So you see that down there, over there? Follow it. Then you will get an alert to let you know that it is happening. We can't sit here and call you. Send Cash App us $100 and I'll call you every fucking time I have some shit. But don't expect us to call each person individually. Please subscribe.
It's true. The Lit Verse will do everything for you. You just follow them. You got all the info.
All right, I'm back.
Venmo at the Lit Verse.
I'm back. All right, I'm back. Okay. I'm back. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So all my guests, I like to ask all my guests this. From the time that you have come on this episode today to the time you leave, how would you like the people to remember you?
I would like the people to remember me as someone who would perhaps not make the same decisions I made during this story. But that's both good and bad. Like perhaps I was more daring, and perhaps I'm less daring now, but maybe I wouldn't have made a decision based on a yelling guy. I don't know. I'm different. That's how I want you all to remember me. Different.
I'm different. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for telling that. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you. Now, before we say goodbye to you and see you later and adios and every other way to say take care, are there any last words that you would like to share?
Spell Al Boogie with 4 E's, friends.
With 4 what? E's? O's?
4 E's.
E's?
Yeah, bro.
Ooh, Al Boogie.
That's the one. That's the one. That's exactly it. It's like D Stallion. Al Boogie Stallion.
Al Boogie. There it is.
That's
Al
okay. Okay. Ease in the chat.
Boogie.
Ease in the chat. Thank you so much,
All
AJ
right.
Dunk All Caps. This has been so great. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yo. Boy, man. Yo, I'm like I said, I never know what these stories are gonna be. I hear it for the first time, just like everybody else. So my reactions are real, and I'm just like, man, excited for that wetsuit. And look what that thing did to you. So before we get into what we have learned today, we're gonna have to take a vote. All right. Now, if you believe this story is true, in the comments, let me get an all caps. Let me get an all caps in the comments if you believe this story is true. If you do not believe this story, in the comments, let me get a naho. So if you believe the story, let me get an all caps. And if you don't, let me get a naho. Okay. So what have we learned today? Today, we learned that when you set your eyes on something that you want, there's going to be other things that come with it. All right. So you got to take the good with the bad. If you want to look fly, you can't be shy to show your knuckles. All right. So that's what's going to happen. All right, everybody. That's what we learned today. Things come with the things that you want. You want the wetsuit? Then you got to have the bloody knuckles. That's what it is. It's a combo meal. All right. Now, I'd like to thank everybody. Oh, yeah, look at that. We got some all caps in the comments. All caps. All caps. I'll never lie. That's almost an all caps. Oh, yes. And I'm going to say this story is all caps certified. If you don't believe it, then you should ask more questions. All right. We asked all that we can ask, comment on everything that we can comment. That's your fault if you don't believe it. Sorry. I can't make this up. It's named this for a reason. It's real. Now, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to tune into another episode of I Can't Make This Up here on the Litverse. Okay. Make sure you subscribe, please. It's not that hard. You push the button. You ain't, like I said before, it's not like you're subscribing to get the mail. You don't have to go out in the morning, put on something, go out in the cold, pick up that package, come back in and read it. No, all they had to open is your email. And then it's going to be like, boom, here it is. Hey, we're letting you know we're live. So subscribe to the Litverse. That's it. Just press a button. Once again, my name is AJDUNK, spelled all caps. Don't forget that we have more. We have something coming up at 9 o'clock. All right, everybody. We've got another show here on Thursdays. It's called The Great Indoors. So we're gonna give you a little intermission. We have something else going on. We're gonna have another show. So you don't even have to go nowhere. All right, you can have it going on. And at 9 o'clock, we got The Great Indoors coming up. Once again, thanks to my guests. Al Boogie. Shout out to Al Boogie. Make sure you go follow Al Boogie. So, listen, this is what we're doing tonight. We're following, we're subscribing, we're supporting. All right. We got to support the people that have a skin tone that can go outside and get darker. Hey, that's what we're doing tonight. Subscribe. Appreciate it. Okay. Once again, my name is AJDUNK, spelled all caps. Don't forget that laughter is always in style. And let them know, Mom.
Leo, yeah, they got the big ego. When they make it look easy, kind of like a free throw. They never cheesy. Now they not eating Cheetos. They out here chilling with they dang people. They strong and they cocky. They might run up the steps like Rocky. They not sloppy. They like it all neats. They always get W's, never defeats. They in the streets, standing tall. When they're around, you know who to call. Leo, Lion, Kimber. They might slice you up like Simba. Other words, flyer than a bird. Concurred, they live on their words. So, Leos, do your thing so well. And when you feeling lazy, smoke an L.
Smoke a L. That's right, yeah. Do it well. Next one, gotta balance yourself. I'm talking about the Libra, man. That's the scales, yeah. Listen, you're gonna make a lot of decisions, but you gotta really put your mind in it, because if you don't, then you're not gonna be winning, and people gonna look at you like you sinning. That's right, you gotta choose between good and the bad, but everything else is gonna be in the bag, like the money that you're gonna bring. Yeah, you're gonna bring, man, get a ring. Woo, that's right, romance is in your future. You gonna get married and shoot your shot with that model that you thought you could never get, but she gonna get got, or he, or whatever you are into. It's the sign, it's not what you bring, dude. Don't let these people malign you on social media. Let them stand behind you. You used to be down with the people, then you started standing on your stacks. Now you not equal, and you talk down to everybody. Oh my God, yeah. And you bought a shotty, yeah. I saw it when I came over to your crib to tell you, yo, you doing it big, and you was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, what? And then I just disappeared, yo. Mike Poole, give it up for Mike Poole.
Miguelito
Oh my
Fascina.
Tell these motherfuckers how you did. You started making money. That house is way bigger than I remember, Sonny. I remember you used to sleep in a closet. Now you got like 25 closets. Yo, is that a motherfucking couch, bro? I remember when you didn't have a house, yo. Yo, can I hold something? Lend me some money, man. I'm trying to function. I'm trying to do this channel for my peoples, man. We trying to do everything, man. The sequel, man. You and me, we gonna be friends in 2021. This shit just gotta end. Stop being a motherfucking punk.
I don't sell drugs, okay?
All right, Mike Poole. Yeah, are you sure, though? We all know he does. I took this man to Lions, Tigers, and Squares, the Detroit pizza spot. My man flipped 2 bricks while we was eating a slice. I never seen that in my life. I was like, God damn, we just came from an improv show. Don't you turn it off, my guy?
So plan, get you a financial man.
Hey.
Get your finances while you can. Get your finances, then you dance. Flip a brick, flip 2. You know how you gon' do. I say bricks, I mean joke, because I joke the most. I don't got no drugs.
Hey.
I don't got hugs. But if you want cocaine, maybe I'm your main. But I only do that on the side. No, really, I don't. I just lied, because I do not sell drugs, Mom. But if you're not my mom, I'm drugs.com. And if you're not my dad, well, some drugs you'll have. But I'm not a drug dealer. If you are the government, if you are George Bush, I don't sell no kush. If you are grandma, well, go get your ganja, because I got some ganja. No, I don't. I'm just kidding, y'all, because I don't sell no drugs. 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 But if you want them pills, you know that I'm selling. But if you want them pills, you know that I'm selling.
Welcome to the Goss. When it comes to news and culture, oh yeah, we have an opinion.
Laura, is everything okay?
I'm good.
Okay, you want to pick it back up? You left off at, oh yeah, we have an opinion.
I know what I said, but I don't want to say what I was going to say because I don't want to get canceled.
Okay.
I like my job, and I don't want to make anybody mad. The court of public opinion hands out tougher indictments than a Louisville grand jury. Each week, the Goss team will touch on an important news-related topic and give you just enough information that you'll have the winning edge in your next epic roast battle. If you've got the time, we've got the Goss. So bet. The cultural phenomenon known as canceling was once relegated for use only for ratings challenged yet critically acclaimed TV shows. I think canceling the Get Down was a mistake. Watching Jaden Smith run around in that fake-ass afro wig was entertaining as hell. That shape-shifting afro deserved to have its own spinoff. Excuse me 1 second. I'm being shown a message telling me that Jaden Smith is a genderqueer and LGBTQ plus fashion icon, and that I should shut my stupid mouth before I get canceled. Okay, full transparency, that message was from my own mom, who is not traditionally of the Jaden Smith fan demographic, but she really likes the fact that he gave her the confidence to wear hot pinks in the fall. Listen, some people need to be canceled. Harvey Weinstein, no brainer. Kevin Spacey, canceled. R. Kelly, some of y'all are still riding with Robert. Now stop it. Pull the car over and take the key out of the damn ignition. I'm getting another message. Okay, I'm being asked, if I cancel R. Kelly, how am I supposed to step in the name of love at weddings when this pandemic is done? Okay, that's easy. Be a big girl, back it up, get in there and wobble with it, mom. Here's my gossip on the cancel culture. Number one, Michael Jackson, pre-Off the Wall, is not canceled. When he was a child, he himself was being abused. Canceling I'll Be There, ABC, or Ben is just re-victimization. Number two, all of Thriller is a bop. If Beat It comes on while you're in line at the pharmacy, you're allowed to put your shoulders into it. And number three, even post Dangerous, there's a year wiggle room. But after that, it's horrible what he did. Canceled. We like the cancel culture because it makes us feel invincible against a common enemy. The cancel culture is like a club, but not to be confused with the Culture Club, featuring Boy George, who has been canceled by people who say he is transphobic. I mean, what the fuck, Boy George? Number five, cancel culture has become a slippery slope. We now cancel people for doing things that we used to just hate on them for. Like, how dare that bitch use the same music in her TikTok that I use in my TikTok? If we cancel people for minor infractions, we are not going to have anybody left. To recap, I liked Michael Jackson's earlier music. I didn't watch Leaving Neverland because my mind barely surviving R. Kelly. And while it feels good to bond together over a common perceived wrong, there are levels to this, and maybe we should be a little more selective about who we cancel. Sometimes cashiers and show hosts make mistakes, mom. Now, on to our chief correspondent, Taylor Smith.
All right. Now, Eileen, I have to ask you, before you tell this story, do you pinky promise that it's true?
I pinky promise that this story is true.
All right. Pinky promise. Okay, Eileen, would you please share this story that you cannot make up?
I call this La Casa del Diablo, which means the devil's house. So I figured coming here, since we're in the middle of October, it's almost, Halloween-y time, and I've been filled with Latino horror stuff all over the place. I figured I'd explain a little bit of how horror in Latin America has been implanted in me. And it all began many, many years ago in Nicaragua. So I am half Nicaraguan. I went to high school in Nicaragua, and my very, very best friend, Johnny, whom I currently do my podcast with, we went to high school together. And when we were teens, he was particularly in love. I mean, he still is, but he's particularly obsessed with horror. And I was a tiny baby that was not into it at all. He was constantly shoving it down my throat, taking me to see The Exorcist when it was re-released. We went to see The Blair Witch Project. I fucking hated it. I hated it. He made me watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was in hell. I loathed every minute. But because I was a good friend, I was like, okay, I'll sacrifice my sleepy nights, because I didn't sleep forever, to do this. And so another thing that we as best friends would do is we filmed everything we did. Johnny had an old-timey camcorder, which at the time was a new camcorder. Okay. So we were those assholes that were like, oh my God, just fucking talk to the camera. Isn't it going to be great? And there's footage of us just being stupid high school teens in Nicaragua talking about horror stuff. We wrote screenplays, horror screenplays together. It was real nerdy, but very fun and cute, I think.
Okay.
Anyways, so in Nicaragua, Managua in particular, in specific, which is the capital, there is a house that has been known as La Casa del Diablo for many, many years. The reason it's known as La Casa del Diablo is because literally on the outside wall, as you drive by it, somebody had painted in either paint or blood, La Casa del Diablo. And it was like kind of drippy paint, and it was terrifying. And it was this huge mansion, dilapidated. It was falling apart, and it was in the middle of a big piece of like overgrown land, and obviously hadn't been touched in years. And the rumors were that back in the 80s and early 70s, when Nicaragua had a lot of political unrest and the Sandinistas were happening and we had civil war and stuff, that a high-ranking man in the military lived there, and a lot of shitty, shady shit was going on in that house. Like maybe murder, maybe torture, maybe both. So because that's like kind of was like the urban legend behind it, this house was always considered to be evil, bad, creepy, terrifying. And it looked awful. Like you pass by it and you're like, oi, no thank you. So Johnny isn't naturally from Nicaragua. He's from Bolivia and Honduras. And so when I told him this is the history behind this house, obviously him being obsessed with horror, he was like, we have to go to the house. And I was like, no, dude, are you crazy? Like, I've been warned by several people that is not a cool place to fucking go. And so he was like, no, we have to. And he happened to live not too far away from the house. So he was like, dude, we'll get my dad. He'll drive us there. So at least we'll have my dad there. And we'll take my camera and we'll fucking film it. And it'll be so cool. And we'll see if it really is La Casa del Diablo. And I was like, do you understand that this is the craziest idea? I'm not into this at all. And
until you get there.
I mean, even then I was like, my hands are cold just thinking about it again. It's just, it was awful. So Johnny was like, come on, we gotta. Oh my God, how fucking great would it be? Oh my God. And I was like, constantly saying no. He went over to his dad, Mr. Atkinson, and he's like, Dad, drive us to this house. It's not that far. You can stay in the car, leave the lights on, because also Nicaragua being the very poor country that it was and is, a lot of streets don't have a lot of street lights. And so you can go huge chunks of road with nary a light on to see besides your headlights. So I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea.
Right.
But still, bless Mr. Atkinson. He was like, okay, let's do it. So he agreed to drive our dumb asses to this fucking haunted house. And I was like shitting. I was like, I don't know. So we had 3 other friends with us, and they, of course, were also hella into it. And I was like, you guys, please can't we just can we just go? We'll park, we'll look at it, and then we'll go. And they're like, no, we're gonna go in. And when we go in, we're gonna go hoard. And it was like, oh God, the devil is going to take me tonight. Make peace with your life, Eileen, because this is it. You're dying tonight. This is it. We get in the car.
Now I'm intrigued.
We get in the car and we drive to La Casa del Diablo. And Mr. Atkinson is like, okay, guys, it does look pretty dark and scary. So I'll stay here. I'll have the high beams on. You'll know I'm here. You know, be careful. And Johnny has his camera and he's in the car filming all of us. He's fucking Blair Witch Projecting it. And he's just freaking out. So excited. We get out and it's all overgrown, right? So we have to walk this tiny little path that's been like made by people walking back and forth, it seems, but it's still kind of shitty and overgrown. And we walk to it. Our three friends are in front of us. Johnny is next with the camera, and I'm behind Johnny pulling his shirt because I'm like, no, wait, hold on, wait, I heard something, hold on, no, wait. And he was like, dude, we gotta fucking go. So we go, we cross the front door, and it's pitch black. It's dark as night. Those headlights didn't do a goddamn thing. Yeah. Those lights, fuck those lights. They might as well not have been there. So we cross the threshold, and when our eyes, okay, and another thing, the camcorder isn't like you know how iPhones have like a light, whatever. This is fucking 1999, the year 2000. So this camera, unless you have a full lighting equipment with you, like it's not gonna, yeah, it's that legit. So that shit isn't gonna help at all either. So we go in, and when our eyes finally adjust to the darkness, we see that there's right in front of us, a huge like turning staircase that's going upstairs. But when you look upstairs, you can see that the roof is like coming down on itself. And like, honestly, besides it being spooky ooky, it was just hazardous for us to be in there as like in construction terms. Like a brick would have fallen on our head at any moment. But so there's this huge staircase leading upstairs, very grand, you know, kind of thing. And it's a huge like living area, foyer entrance. And on the walls, it's covered in writing. And it's just like everywhere. It looks like somebody has just written all over the walls. But then when you got in a little bit closer, you could see that it was like, Alejandro loves Maria. So it was definitely like teens going in to make out maybe. And we're like, oh, I love my girlfriend. Or like some guy testing his tag out or whatever. So it wasn't like, I will kill my dad on the 3rd day of November. No, it was definitely people just having fun in an empty home, right? But still, I'm holding on to Johnny like, please, God, no, I don't want to. So we're looking around in this like huge room, and we see to the right that there's a door to lead into another room of the building. And the three friends that we were with walked in there like nothing. They're like, we own this place, we're doing it up. And it's like, you guys need to chill.
Yeah.
This isn't a game, okay? It may feel like a game to y'all. I don't think so. So they walk in, and then Johnny, because I'm pulling him at every second, he's like taking.
Oh shit! There's one behind you.
What?
No, I was just joking. I'm just joking. I had to.
My heart. I've been watching too much Paranormal Activity. It's gonna kill me.
I'm sorry, I had to.
I get it. Listen, good call. You did a good job. You got me. I respect to the game. I love it. So So Johnny is going to cross into this room, and he's barely through the door where I'm still outside. Like technically I'm still on the other side of the threshold. He's barely across the threshold. He's panning the camera around, and then I see him do this with the camera, and then with the camera he pans to the floor. And then Johnny says, there's a man in the house. Bitch, when I tell you I ran, there was an Eileen shaped hole in that wall and like a dust like cloud left behind. I was like, bye. And so literally I was waiting by the car with Mr. Atkinson for a full 5 minutes before they even came back. But like, there's a man in the house. And I was like, no, see ya. So when they finally get to the car, Johnny said, what I saw was there was a man sitting cross-legged on the floor. And what this man did was he was staring forward, like straight ahead. And then he turned his head slowly to look up at Jonathan. No, bitch. No. So immediately we're all in the car. Mr. Atkinson is like, this was a bad idea. You children, like he didn't think ghost. He thought homeless person. He thought murderer. He thought drug addict. Like who knows, squatter, whatever. And we're like, it's a man. And Mr. Atkinson is like, I almost killed all these children. But we're in the car. Our adrenaline is full blast. We're just like, oh my God, you need to show what's in the camera. We need to see the video. It's gonna be crazy. Can you believe it? We saw a man. Oh my God, it's literally El Diablo. So we get to the house. We plug in the camera to the TV to see the footage. Right?
Oh shit.
Now I remind you, this is the old-timey camcorders where you need a full lighting equipment with you to see anything. So we couldn't see a fucking thing in the video. So even though what we saw was Johnny panning, but there was only like shadows everywhere. And then he pans to the ground and all we hear is like he rustles the camera because he gets so freaked out. And we hear, there's a man in the house. And then it's just like crazy camera footage. But we did see like hand shadows go by on the screen. And we were like, did you see that? Did you see that fucking hand? Did you see that hand? Like we were nerding out so hard on this video. So the five of us friends, once we're in Johnny's house, processing this like visit to the house and this man and like what could have been and whatever, Johnny's dad is like, okay, guys, have fun nerding out. I'm going to go to bed. So we're in Johnny's kitchen and we're talking and we're freaking out about it. And like at this point, everything has kind of subsided a little bit. And we're just like, wow, what an experience. Now, the way Johnny's house worked.
Fuck you. Go ahead. Go ahead. But I got goosebumps. I got on short so I can see that I got goosebumps. Go ahead.
So the way Johnny's house was, it was most of the rooms, including the kitchen, had a glass door that opened out into his yard that kind of like swept all around the house, right? So we were sitting in the kitchen and I was sitting at the head of the table. No, lies. I was sitting at like the closest right-hand seat to the head of the table. One of our friends was at the head. Everybody else was kind of scattered, like talking, eating a snack maybe. And as we're talking and relaxing at this point, our friend that was sitting at the head of the table looks directly across to the glass door and he says, "What's that?" And we all look, and this huge shape, just a dark shape in the darkness, is slowly walking up to the glass door. And literally all of us scream bloody murder and like run into Johnny's house, and we're like, what the fuck is that? Like, what the fuck? And then we hear cackling, like absolute cackling laughter. And Johnny's like, Eileen, come back. I was like, fuck that shit. Johnny's dad had taken a fucking blanket and he came to fucking scare the shit out of us dumb ass kids because we were freaking out. And we went back in the kitchen and Mr. Atkinson was just, he was doubled over. My guy couldn't believe that he had the chance to do it. He fucked with us good. And like, it was honestly, again, respect. He nailed it. And then from that day on, I was like, I think I'm going to take a break from horror things. I think I'm cool. And then I turned 30, 35, and something in my body like chemically changed. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm ready to experience horror again. And I'm happy to say I have welcomed it back with open arms. That is La Casa del Diablo.
Yo, what's Gucci? It's your boy, Big Willie Get Silly, aka the Coqui Poppy, represent Puerto Rico and BX all day, every day. Woo, woo! I'm out here. You already know what it is. Now look, I was in the studio spitting that fire like I always do for my mixtape, which drops in July. And I looked at the calendar and I thought, oh shit, it's almost Valentine's Day and you ain't even got a date, dog. That's wild. I've been out here grinding so hard I've been out here grinding that I ain't even have time for love. That's bugged. But what could I do? Valentine's Day is around the corner. And then I had a thought. Rather than going to the streets and trying to holler at these shorties or go to the club and act mad thirsty, I would just post a video on my page and let the ladies who are looking for a Valentine's Day date know that your boy Big Willie Get Silly is available. Now, before anybody watching this video comments some stupid shit or ask me a dumb question, no, I do not fuck with dating apps because, as we all know, it's just a government conspiracy so they could get more information about you so they could charge you more taxes. Facts! If you don't believe me, consider this. Why is Valentine's Day so close to tax day? That's all I'm going to say about it. You can do your own research. It's on the YouTubes, dog. Stay woke. All right, now I'm going to keep it moving. Because a girl might ask, why would I want to date Big Willie Get Silly? That's a good question. You smart. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Big Willie Get Silly is a good date. Reason number 1, I'm a good dude. That's right. Now, what does that mean? That can mean so many things. Here's an example. If you're trying to slide through and see your boy Big Willie Get Silly, let's say we're in a relationship, because I am trying to build with someone, and you're like, damn, how am I going to get over there? I'm going to pay for that Metro card, girl. It's no problem for me. So you're thinking to yourself, damn, Will's a good dude. He's going to pay for my Metro card to get over there. All I got to worry about is coming back. Nah, I'm paying round trip, girl. That's right. 2 ways, girl, because I'm a real one, okay? A lot of you fucking with dudes that won't even pay 1 trip. 1 trip? Nah, I'm a real one. Everybody fucks with me because I'm a good dude. Even parents fuck with me. Let's say you want to take me to go meet your parents. Not on the first date. Let's not jump out the window. But let's say eventually, because like I mentioned, I am trying to build, you do take me to meet your parents. Guaranteed they will fuck with me. That's the Big Willie Get Silly money back guarantee. All right? Reason number 2, I'm going to take you on a fancy date, girl. Now, look, I don't know where we're going to go specifically because I don't know what your dietary restrictions are. And I care about you, girl. As I mentioned previously, I'm a good dude. So I don't know where I'm going to take you. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to pick a restaurant that is going to have you with diarrhea or some shit. To be honest, that's a bad experience for both of us. So, but I will say what kind of level you're going to expect. You could expect that at least we're going to do Cheesecake Factory level, girl. That's right. I'm looking to spend at least 75 beans on this date, girl. It's nothing to me. And let's say we do go to Cheesecake Factory and you want to take an extra piece of cheesecake home for ladies or for your friends. I'm with it. It's no problem. Because I'm trying to have a good time. I'm trying to show you a good time. I'm a good dude, all right? See number 1 if you keep forgetting that. Okay? Now, number 3, last but certainly not least, I got bars. That's right. All right? A lot of you fucking with dudes that don't got no bars or say they got bars, they definitely don't got bars like your boy Big Willie gets silly. I'm a real one. Certified USDA realness. Check the FDA website. I am registered. All right? Now look, I got bars. So what that means for you is I'm going to write at least a 16 about my experience with you and about how beautiful you are and about how important you are in this world. You know what I mean? At least a 16. I might go crazy right at 32. Or if the date's going really good, I might spaz, do a cannabis, and do like 1,000 bars just on how dope you are. Because that's how I am. Okay? I got bars. It's no problem for me. So anyway, that's it. I mean, really, there's nothing more to say. I mean, I think I pretty much made my case pretty clear.
I think we got someone that can talk about the bodegas. Bodega Cat.
Hey, what is going on, my friend?
Hey,
how you have a bodega and I have a cat, bro? Come on, man.
A la mosca.
So la moga, de moga.
What did you think about the debates, Moquita?
Yo, it was shit, man. It was all shit, bro. That's why I'm here.
I'm actually the head of the Cuban American Young Republicans.
Okay, Mirela, why? You know that this president doesn't really care about us, right?
Speak for yourself, William. I don't think we'll be thrown over that wall, if you know what I mean.
Okay, everybody give it up for our next guest, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez!
Hi.
The CDC doesn't mention anything about hookah. Hookah, yes or no?
No.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
and it is so painful for me to bring this in. I know. Welcome to the goss. When it comes to news and culture, oh yeah, we have an opinion. Rachel or Regine, you can't fuck with Tootie.
I'll never get shot by law enforcement because I'll shoot myself first.
Who are the other 56% of Americans that don't see the U.S. as widening racial disparity? And why is their vision so red?
Am I legally barred from threatening the president and wishing him ill? Of course. Would I even want to do that if I could? What?
I want to talk about a different racial divide. One between black people and me.
Ms. Warren, I'm not crazy about it either. But I'm just glad that Joe Biden isn't about to pick her as his running mate. Come on!
Lene, the air is thick with sexual tension out there. I feel like everybody's getting a little bit hot under the collar right now. After 5 months of not touching, you gotta. I bet you're aching.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of parts of me that are aching, and there's a lot of parts that should be aching that aren't aching, and it's a problem.
Well, we're gonna fix that.
I'm good. I'm in a Zoom meeting right now.
Just giving you a booty call.
Hey, whoa, man, I'm kind of far away. Wait, I'm in the virtual world right now, but you know what? I'll get back to juice.
Let me hit you with some sauce, just a little bit though.
And they look at me like I'm the reason why their grandson didn't get into UC Berkeley. It's like, your grandson didn't get into UC Berkeley because he's a lazy piece of shit. We had to sacrifice, and we had to cut off one of our hands. And I thought, no, I can't do this. This is too far. But then they were like, Dylan, you should do it because you are the youngest of our group. You need to sacrifice your hand. And I did, and now I'm playing piano with one hand. One time he called me in the middle of a very vulnerable podcast when I was talking about my trauma, and he called me and he completely ruined the vibe in the middle of me crying.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Extra Ridiculous Science, the game show.
I've never had this much attention on me ever.
My name is Hal, and I am a herpes virus.
Create a virus that has the name has read their read receipts on but never texts back.
Ghostfluenza is a good one.
That's very.
Orders
Yes,
the
sir.
most expensive thing on the menu and then wants to split the check. What would
That's an
you
asshole
name
right up
this
top.
virus?
I mean, if we want to get into the Greek and Latin,
C
L
I
T
T
Y.
Did we get it right?
Listverse is a streaming channel where all content is created by BIPOC, BIPOC.
Mother put bleach in the mouths of her children to make them speak more white. I am a product of laundry left in too long. The dryer has pressed out all my wrinkles. I'm clean and bright. I am. put bleach in the mouths of her children to make them speak more.
This is a song I wrote beginning of March when coronavirus just started and it was really scary. Nobody knew what was going on. And my mom got sick and it was truly the most scary thing. It really makes you contemplate mortality in a way that we often don't have to face. I was not going out for anything. Nobody was going out for everything was shut down. But I did go out to take a walk down the block to walk my dog. And everything just hit different. I don't know if it's a new appreciation of life when you are afraid everything's about to fall apart, but all of a sudden I could like feel the elements. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, aware that I was in a body and on the earth and was trying to soak it in, I guess, and calm myself down. So I kind of wrote this mantra in my head as I was walking.
Go outside, breathe in air. Wind down skin, you're alive. Go outside, breathe in air. Wind on skin, you're alive. Go outside, breathe in air. Wind on skin, you're alive. go outside. Breathe in air. Wind on skin. You're alive. Go outside. Breathe in air. Wind on skin. You're alive.
What this other person does. Please put your hands together for Michelle Bennett.
Hi.
What's up? What's up?
It was funny to watch myself in the back or like backstage watching that, like you guys being so distinctly and effortlessly cool, and me with my freaking blazer being like,
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna share my screen because I have I'm here for the TED convention.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and share it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored, privileged even to be here at TEDx Gowanus, giving this talk. This topic I think will be at top of mind for most people, especially given that this is a POC space, and also given the most recent racial reckoning that's happened in our nation. I know it's deeply personal to me. So without further ado, I'd love to present my TED Talk. So you've got a white dad. As I said, this topic is really, really personal to me. This is for people who, specifically POCs, who find themselves not only in proximity to whiteness, but a descendant of it, which is honestly a terrifying position to be in. So I've outlined 3 simple steps to help you navigate this position, unpack your identity, and hopefully find a way to navigate this world. Step 1 is determining your racial identity. This one is actually pretty simple because if you find yourself being a POC while at the same time finding you have a white father, the answer is probably very simple. You're probably half Asian. This is for a number of reasons. The first being more that the most common interracial relationship, and all of this because whiteness is deeply rooted in the patriarchy and heteronormativity, is going to be very gendered and very patriarchal. So I do want to name that up front. The most common interracial hetero partnership is the white male and the Asian female. You can walk down any street in Williamsburg and experience this anecdotally. You'll notice 2 patterns. It is most traditionally a white man and an Asian woman, and the Asian woman is traditionally way out of the man's league. But I will kind of continue to unpack why the former is true and why you are indeed probably half Asian. It actually stems back to the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, when there was an influx of Chinese male immigrants for the California Gold Rush. Because they were indebted to white brokers and not able to bring their families over, there was then an influx of Chinese female immigrants that were prostitutes or sex slaves to cater to their needs. This became a stereotype, which we all know white people are clinically addicted to, that became the basis for the legislature that would exclude them from immigrating to the United States in future years. The stereotypes around Chinese immigrants, specifically Chinese women, were impotent counterparts. So they viewed Chinese men as weak and fragile and unworthy. Because the Chinese women were traditionally prostitutes, they were seen as docile, service-oriented, but still having a proclivity for the sexual and the immoral because they were serving as prostitutes. And because this was tainted by Orientalism, fetishization, eroticism, there were myths like horizontal vaginas. This particular myth I won't debunk if it makes you want to have sex with me more. If there is a TED Talk or a talk back after this, I'm more than happy to unpack that a little bit more and field any questions. More contemporary stereotypes that kind of fuel these partnerships are the idea of tiger mothers. So a couple years ago, the book Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother was published, in which author Amy Chua advocated for Jewish men and Asian women to pair up because their cultural views on offspring were aligned. And thus they said that they would produce genetically and culturally superior offspring that would contribute to our capitalist society. And Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother is a book that white people loved. It was the book they picked that year to read by a minority author to kind of just see what we were up to or planning in terms of potentially taking over their power. In sum, white men are weak and thus seek out political structures, economic systems, and pussy that maintain that power. So that's step one. Moving on to step two, determine what kind of white your white dad is. Now, as a minority, I have to concede that there are sadly different types of white people, even white men that are attracted to Asian women. This is a courtesy not typically extended to minorities by white people. I do want to name that up front, but sadly that is the way of the world. I will say, like gender and like sexuality, white identification among white dads does exist on a spectrum from the traditionally feminine to the traditionally masculine. We begin on the feminine side with the weeb or the weeaboo. This is someone who has probably harassed you online and is so consistently emasculated in their everyday life that they seek out who they presume will be the most submissive partner, Asian women, who may or may not have big old anime titties. On the traditionally masculine side of the spectrum, we have the troop. The back of this man's neck may or may not look like a 6-pack of hot dogs. And if someone commits the microaggression of asking them if they met their wife in Vietnam, whether or not that is temporally possible based on their age, they will say yes, regardless of whether or not this is true. They will say yes. For those of you who don't recognize this image, this is actually Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump attending Forrest Gump's wedding with his Asian wife, Susan. Some other men we'll find on this spectrum also include Northwestern MFAs who still ended up as high school English teachers, who view themselves as way overqualified as they are, but are consistently emasculated by cooler high school students and thus seek the companionship of a more docile partner. The guy doing kicks in your local park, this is self-explanatory. And my dad. My dad is what's known in academia as a tactical white. While not quite a troop, is known to wear Oakleys, has a radar detector, considers installing security cameras on his home and watching the footage a hobby, and has a huge affinity for Taekwondo. Can't get enough. So step 3, now that we know who you are and who your dad is, we can kind of outline some do's and don'ts to help you navigate these spaces in your relationship with your father. I'll start with the do's. Do participate in martial arts when they enroll you. It'll give you a great sense of discipline, is a great form of exercise. And if you are good enough, it'll be cooler to people later in life. People will appreciate that. It's like piano lessons, but useful, right? Tactical. The only exception to this is don't do it if it's karate. To quote a comedian that I can't name right now, karate is the Dane Cook of martial arts. Do not do karate. Second, make it a family affair when it's officially cargo short season. Cargo short season, specifically the first day, is very culturally significant to white dads. It's a huge day for them. So really lean in on that day. Really make them feel seen. And they'll be riding such a high that they may not say anything problematic for maybe the next 2 hours or so, which brings us to our next point. Call them out when they say problematic stuff. You know, it just is what it is. Sadly, you are the result of their imperialist ideas. But hopefully, if we continue to critique theirs and call them out, that's where the buck will stop, right? With us, it's a cross to bear. But listen, when you're a POC, it's the name of the game. And lastly, open yourself up to the possibility that a Sunday spent at the Home Depot is a Sunday well spent. This one took me quite some time to truly internalize, but I guarantee you it is well worth it, and you will catch me in that plant section. Moving on to the don'ts. Do not take it personally when they do stuff like, or when they say stuff like, newsflash, buddy. I have tried and cannot track this historically to find its roots, but I believe it's rooted culturally in spending hours watching a cable news network of their choice. Next, do not let their authoritative tone fool you into thinking that they've ever thought critically about anything, okay? The world is built for them, all right? They've never had to question the systems at play that have always worked for them. They've never had to think from anyone else's perspective, okay? But they think they really got their finger on the pulse of society because of this, when in reality, they have their proverbial thumb up their proverbial ass. But because they are delusional enough to think that they do, they will talk to you authoritatively and talk downward. But studies show that only around 40% of white dads can read. So if you ask yourself, has he done the reading? Chances are he probably hasn't. Do not keep your shoes on.
Everybody is good. Welcome Trina up in here. We've got 3 comics. We've got Big Willie Gets Silly. We've got a nice San Francisco Gate Bridge background, and we on the Litverse. So we have people that are watching right now on Twitch, and we have people that are watching on Facebook. We have people that are watching on YouTube across multiple platforms. But this is the immediate crowd right here in the Zoom. This right here is the great indoors. Apologize for that. I've been inside for a long time. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a great lineup for you tonight. We have 3 hilarious comics. They're going to each do a set for everybody. So we've got a lot to do tonight. It's Thirsty Thursday, so we're going to still act like we at the club. Get your drink, pour it, and don't worry about having too many drinks because you ain't got to drive. So drink all the fuck you want to, and we're going to have some fun up in here, all right? Like I said, I love this time of being indoors. It's great. It is great because I do not have to give family hugs. No hugs. That's right. Because that shit takes 30 minutes to say goodbye at a family function. Before you leave, you gotta be like, all right, babe, you know what? We're gonna leave in about 45 minutes because I gotta say goodbye to everybody. You know, you got that one cousin that's like, hey, you leaving? I just got here. I'm like, I've been here since 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. again. I gotta leave, cuz. All right, okay, I understand. You gonna say bye to your aunt. You're like, oh, but you gotta take a shot with me. Come on, you gotta take a shot. But what are you doing? You're taking a shot with that aunt. And then you got the other cousin that you got to do a secret handshake with. Oh, yeah, and you mess up, and it's like, hey, cuz, you gonna take a plate with you? Come on, you gotta take a plate. I made all this rice, all these meals. You gotta take a plate with you. That's the things that I do not miss. Hugs? No. Then everybody want to hug you. I'm a hugger. I'm not. I'm skinny. I'm like a banana. I bruise easily. Don't hug me. I'm not beat for that. Come on, it's not like that. So these are things that I love. I love being indoors. It is great. It's the greatest feeling. Once again, if you're in here, please take your mics off of mute. This way we can hear you enjoy your laughter. All right. Richard has a video going. Richard, you can take off mute. Trina, you feel free to take yourself off of mute. And I see that Big Willie Gets Silly is not on mute, so we are able to hear him as well. All right. So if you all are ready, I'm going to bring in our next comic. All right. So if we can put our hands together for our next comic. You might have seen him on Conan. And if not, you can catch his monthly show, Comedy Ting. Please make some noise for Colin.
Yeah, what's going down, everybody? How are you? I'm so happy to be here on Litverse. I gotta admit, it's been a little rough for your boy in quarantine. I feel like I struggle with my self-image. Like on the outside, I feel like I look like this. Like that's who I am on the outside. Yeah, suave, confident, debonair. You know what I'm saying? Getting all the ladies. But on the inside, I feel like this. This is how I feel in my spirit. That's how I feel. I am broken. Your boy is broken. You know what I mean? Like on the outside, it's like OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Right? Oh my God. Right? But on the inside, it's like that website where you pay to get used underwear. You know what I mean? Like that's
I like that.
That's what I'm working with right now. Your boy is struggling. I'll tell you this much. One of my all-time formerly favorite mayors is struggling. This man is in trouble. This man is in crisis. His hair has betrayed him even. His hair dye was like, "You too evil. I got to get out of here." Right? That's rough. And the thing is, I never understand about these old white politicians, like why they dye their hair. Because it's like, nigga, you were never sexy. Never. Never were you sexy. At no point.
Racist.
No point. I feel like they think they look like this when they dye their hair. That's what they think they're working with when they dye their hair, right? But really, what they look like is like this. This is how they look when they dye their hair. It's not good. It's still not sexy. Still struggling. before we go any further, I think it's only right we acknowledge the real victims of the pandemic, and that's obviously parents who just at home trying to recreate when, you know, these snitch ass kids, you know how it is. They just try to hold it down, do what they do at home. And these snitch ass kids doing home learning are ruining their recreation. I think we got to give a salute to the real heroes. I love when she tries to hide behind her daughter. It's like, woman, you are too big. What are you doing? What are you doing? We'll play a little game called Raise Your Hand If. Everybody got to turn their cameras on right now. I want you to raise your hand if the name is the game. Raise your hand if you have drank your body weight in wine every single week during this quarantine. Raise your hand if that's you. Some of y'all lying like a motherfucker. Some of y'all lying. Raise your hand if you have not read any books during this quarantine, but you saw every episode of Tiger King. Raise your hand if that is you. Raise your hand. Some of these people are raising their hands. Some of y'all lying. I see y'all on Twitch. Some of y'all lying. Raise your hand if, like me, you also decided to grow your butt out during quarantine. Raise your hand if that's what you're doing. Leclerc he gained a lot of weight. He's like, that's why I got this beard. I had to hide it. There's nothing like making fun of your friends for no reason. Okay. You guys might have seen our girl Hilaria Baldwin got in trouble. You know her, she's Alec Baldwin's wife. She got in trouble because she said she was from Spain. Turns out she's actually a white girl from Boston named Hillary. Said she was named Hilaria from Spain, but she's not. And I knew she was up to shenanigans when she went on Instagram to try to explain herself. Let me explain why I knew. Because this is how the video started out. But then when she started explaining and getting slick, this is how the video turned out. It's like once the tatties come out, girl, come on. Come on. We know you fibbing. We know you fibbing. When the titties come out, we know you fibbing. We know you fibbing. If I'm being honest with y'all, I knew she was full of it from the jump because I went on her what do you call it, her LinkedIn a couple of years ago, and this was her profile picture. It's like, come on, Hilaria, stop playing. We know what's going on. We're having a good time. You guys are fun. I'm on a few dating apps. Your boy is out here in the streets trying to get it wet. You know how I do. And you already tell when you see a play in the streets. And your boy is on his website. I'm on this app called Field. Now, Field is very interesting. Field is an app where people go and they put their sexual appetites or sexual kinks right there on Front Street. So it's a very, very strange app. It's a very strange app, right? Because like every profile on Field is the same. It starts out normal. It's like, hi, I'm Brittany. I like to go on long walks along the beach, and I can only come if you spit in my face. It's like, come on. Brittany, settle down. Settle down. We're on an app. We're on an app. Segues. You guys getting vaccinated? Who's getting vaccinated? Somebody's getting back. I'm taking the vaccine. I'm going to get vaccinated. My buddy Greg's not taking the vaccine. He was like, Khalid, I'm not taking the vaccine because I don't know what's in that vaccine. And I was like, Negro, you eat hot dogs. What are we talking about? What's in a hot dog, Greg? You don't know what's in a hot dog. Also, you do a lot of cocaine, Greg. You do a lot of cocaine, which as we all know, came to this country up somebody's butt. So take the vaccine. Take the vaccine, Greg. I need to do stand-up comedy again. I need to do stand-up comedy outside of my bedroom. Take the vaccine. It's a very historic time we're living through, obviously. Very historic time. I don't know about you guys, but I was very excited on January 20th to watch the swearing in of our nation's very first openly senile president. Very first. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This man does not know where he is right now. You don't know where he is. You know how you can tell he's gone? When the nose hair gets that far outside the nose, like on the regs, that's when the brain is gone. The brain is just not connected to the face no more. He is gone. He always looked like he just ran out of tapioca at the old folks' home. My man is struggling. Can't you see like halfway through Biden's first term, he just wandering the streets of DC in a robe. He just sniffing people. This nigga just sniffing people. He don't know what's going on. He just sniffing. That's what Uncle Joe likes. You know, you can see that. You can see that. Oh man, I knew he was gone like early on in the campaign when he forgot Barack Obama's name. You guys remember this? How do you forget the name of your only black friend? How do you do that? How? How? Yo, I went to an all-white high school. Nobody forgot my name even one time. Never happened. Your boy was memorable. I was memorable in these streets. Come on now. Come on. I don't want to get political. I don't need to get political with you guys, but I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it. Nobody wants to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to miss watching them dance. Look at them go. Look at them go. Just jerking off a couple of businessmen. Look at them go. So much cum. So much cum. Look at them. Look at them go. Look at them go. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. Nobody can put it down the dance floor like Big T. Come on now. Don't front. You know how it is. We're doing comedy, everybody. We're doing comedy. We're enjoying ourselves doing comedy. I've been sent so many memes. I don't know about you guys. I've been sent so many memes during this time. Mad memes. My favorite meme is probably this one, the OxyClean dude, right? But doesn't Billy Mays always look like he's cleaning up after he did something terrible? Don't he always look like that, right? Like, hey, everybody, you ever have a really bad argument with your wife? It's like, come on, fam. You gotta check his basement. This man has killed people. What I'm saying. I may not look it, but your boy is old AF. And I actually have a few friends who have kids who are about to go off to college, which is crazy. That's crazy. Because I remember like holding these kids in my arms, right? In my arms when I was just like, you know, a young person. And I recently had one of my friend's kids ask me, he was like, yo, Uncle K, I'm thinking about going off to college. What do you think? Should I go off to college? Should I save a little bit of money? I was like, fam, honestly, there's only two jobs right now. There is podcaster, or you could sell your naked pictures on OnlyFans. That is your only choices. These are your only choices. You got to pick one. I would go with OnlyFans, save $50,000 a year. I don't know. I learned a lot of real things during this quarantine. Like, for example, one thing I learned is that the rapper Young Dolph, his name is short for Adolf, which is weird, right? Because he's a black man, like in his early 30s from Houston, I believe. And not only that, but he is Adolf the Third, which is like, how you have 3 mistakes in 3 generations. It's like, come on, man. That means his dad's dad named him Adolf. And then his dad named him Adolf. And I think that's crazy. That's like if I had a kid and named him OJ. And then he had a kid and named him OJ. Only like 3 million times worse. I don't know. That's a mad joke. OJ killed 2 people. I don't know, man. It's a struggle in the streets. It's a struggle. Oh boy, we're having a good time. Some people say, I never understood why Trump would always say, "Make America Great Again," because America clearly is great. And I know America is great because every single week I watch 90 Day Fiance. I mean, come on, what more proof do you need? The things that these poor foreigners will go through to come to our shores. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this Taiwanese princess and this bridge troll of a man. Look at this. Come on now. This literal Shrek of a man. She put her face near his genitals. Come on, just to come to this country. Look at this. Look at this. This Russian princess in this man who's never heard of vegetables. Look at this. Look at this. This man who looks like Aaron Rodgers if he got stung by 1,000,000 bees. Look at this. Telling me America's not great. Come on now. Look at this. This proud African prince in this melting candle of a woman. Look at this. Look at this. Telling me America's not great. Stop it. Stop it. America's still unbelievable. You're an amazing country, man. I learned a lot of great things during this quarantine. The other great thing I learned, I had to share this fact with you guys as soon as I found out. Y'all remember Borat, great movie, 2014, right? Shaji Mess, you remember Borat. Turns out Borat pissed off the people of Kazakhstan so bad they tried to cancel Sacha Baron Cohen for making them look foolish. Understandable, right? He made them look like idiots. But this movie actually drove tourism to Kazakhstan because nobody thinks about Kazakhstan, right? So they actually made the slogan for tourism to Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan, very nice. Unbelievable. That's a thing that happened in the world. Can you imagine if other countries did that, right? Imagine that. Come to Germany. We don't talk about that one thing, though. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on. Come to India. You're going to get diarrhea. It's going to happen. I'm laughing. It's because you got diarrhea right now, and I understand that. Indian food is very strong. Very, very strong. Oh, man. My time is just about over. I want to tell you guys one important thing, though, before I go. And it's very, very important because I want to do stand-up comedy out in the world and not in front of my bicycle, which is my only possession, by the way. This is my only possession. Your boy is broke as shit. I am broke. I have not worked in months. All I got is this bicycle. Your man's is struggling. As I mentioned earlier, your man's is struggling. I mean, my spirit is broken. I want you guys to leave me. I want to leave you with this piece of advice. This is how deep I need you to stay in the house so I can do comedy again. Stay this deep in your house. Do it for your boy so I can get back out there in these streets and make a living again. Because again, your man is broken. Your man, his spirit is gone. You left me in a terrible place, Corona. That is my time. My name is Khalid Rahman. If you enjoyed my comedy, follow me on Instagram. Give it up for your host. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yo, once again, give it up for Khalid. Yo, man, good stuff, good stuff. For a minute, I was wondering if that bike was real or if that was a picture, just like everything else. And then we've got people over on Twitch commenting. They're saying bikes are expensive. That's deep. Yes, the melting candle. Yes. Fibbies with the biddies, talking about them titties. Yeah. They say, yeah, they drinking, but it's not wine. They are intrigued, my friend. Thank you again, Khalid.
My man, thank you. Appreciate it.
Khalid. Make sure everybody follows him. Give him a follow so you can see his monthly show, Comedy Ting. Once again, we're here at the Great Indoors. I'm telling you, I love being indoors. I love it. I love it. I get to see my wife all the time. All the time. I get to see her in so many stages. So many, like when she's yawning, when she's stretching in the morning, when she's getting out of bed, when she's pissing. You know, she's just, when she's taking poops. Honey, I'm constipated. It's great. I got to see her last night. She was sleeping, right? She was snoring. Her mouth was open. She was drooling, right? The drool ran down her face. It came down her neck, went around her left nipple, right? This is how much drool she had. It went down her ribs, filled up her belly button, went down her left thigh to her knee, went all the way down to her ankle, to her toe, crossed over to her other toe, came up the ankle, up her knee. Saying don't lie. She said don't lie. She don't know. She was asleep. And then it came up her thigh and up her abs, around the other nipple. All this to stop at her neck, right in her clavicle. And I was just like, good Lord, girl. But I love it though. I get to see her at all these different phases. It's the greatest part of being indoors. All right, everybody. Are you ready for your next comic? Yes, yes. I would like you to give a warm welcome. You might have seen this comic on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. But if you haven't, you're going to get to see him here tonight. Please put your hands together for Leclerc.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, people? How y'all doing out there? You guys can see me? I hope so. We're doing it. We're bouncing back, ain't we? We're doing it, man. I heard a cat call today. That's how I knew we were bouncing back, man. I know our businesses are failing, but if the streets are talking, then we're doing all right, man. This girl, she had a mask on, and she walked by this dude, and he was like, "Hey, girl, let me see a nostril." And I was like, "Oh, fuck that shit, New York. I like that street talk." He wasn't a creep. He was just curious. He wanted to see what she looked like. I liked it. I was like, "All right, go ahead, talk that shit, old man." We're doing it, man. You guys getting that vaccine? I hope you guys are all getting that vaccine, man. Get that vaccine. Do it for the herd. That's what I keep telling people. Do it for the herd, man. I'm not gonna get it. I just need you guys to get it first, man. I need you guys get the vaccine, and if you guys get that vaccine, I'll start following you on Instagram. I'll follow everybody who gets the vaccine on Instagram. That's your consolation prize. You get one follow. But if you stop posting, nigga, if you stop posting, I ain't getting it, man. I'm like, I haven't seen Jared online in a minute, so I think the vaccine got him. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. Quarantine's been fun. You guys been out here trying to date in these end of days. I see that shit. That shit is tragic. That shit is scary trying to find people, man. I remember being single and trying to date. I remember one time I sent this girl a text. It was like 1 a.m. I was drinking. I was like, hey, girl, you up? And she texted me back immediately. She was like, nah. So I had to throw my whole phone away. I started praying. I don't even pray regularly, but I started praying immediately. I was like, hey, dear Jesus. Is that how you pray? Like an open letter. Dear Jesus, how you doing, man? Yeah, dating can be crazy, man. I mean, one time I went on a date with a feminist. That was crazy, man. She had a lot of opinions. We went on a couple of days. We ended up having sex, which is cool because that's like exactly what I was shooting for. Yeah, man. I was like, look at this. What are we doing? We were having sex. She wanted me to talk dirty to her, which is like, first of all, if you're having sex with a stranger, I think it's out of the realm of possibilities that asking them to talk dirty might be like a dangerous thing to do, right? You don't know what I'm capable of. I don't believe in vaccines. I could say some wild shit. Don't tell me to talk dirty. I'll say something crazy, man. Like 9/11 was an inside job. It's like, I don't know. Over here. I'm trying to make you come. Crazy? But yeah, she wanted me to talk dirty, and I was like, all right, cool. But I didn't want to mess it up, so I was like, this is what she said specifically. She was like, tell me what you want me to do. And I was like, girl, you know what you can do, huh? Anything a man can do. And she came right away, man. She loved it. I'm her life coach now. What if it was that easy? What if it was that easy to make women come? You just say shit they already agree with. Like, baby, you're losing so much weight. And she's just like coming regular. Yeah, man. I don't know. Dating used to be wild, man. I got married for the first time. So I'm out the game. Got married to my first wife. Yeah. I love my first wife, man. She's great. She doesn't like it that I call her my first wife, but you know, what's she gonna say? I got married. My first wife is great, man. Sometimes she gets mad at me because I call her my first wife, but and to be clear, I don't call her my first wife to be disrespectful. I only call her my first wife, you know, to keep her motivated. I want to keep her. I want to keep her inspired. She's like, yeah, I'm just the first. I better act right. I'm like, you better act right. But yeah, my first wife is a teacher. She teaches first grade kids with special needs, which is great. We need more teachers. We need more good teachers. But sometimes she talks to me like I'm one of her students, which I don't appreciate because I don't have special needs. My needs are very regular. She came in the house the other day and I was watching TV and she started talking to me. And I didn't give her eye contact. So she stopped mid-sentence and she was like, you know what? I'll wait. I'm like, excuse me, first wife? Who are you talking to? What do you mean I'll wait, right? That's very disrespectful. So I try to talk to her back in the same way. Like we were making love. And at the end, afterwards, she was like, babe, that was amazing. And I said, what do you say? And she was like, thank you. And then I gave her a participation award. So, you know, that's sex. It's consensual. It's great. I'm a very tall person. I'm 6'6", and people always come up to me and they tell me like, what they would do if they had my height. And it's always play in the NBA. Every person who sees me, they always tell me they'd be in the NBA. But I don't know who needs to hear this. But no, you wouldn't, Tyler. You wouldn't. That's not. You really think your height is the only thing stopping you from going to the NBA? You're allergic to gluten, Tyler or Hunter. It's always a Hunter. People think that they can stop LeBron James. You can't stop LeBron James if you were just a little bit taller. You couldn't stop a bagel. LeBron James is elite. He's a force, man. I'm tired of people dreaming about their bodies every time they see me, man. This is something I get a lot. People, they'll see my name. My name is Leclerc. That's my real name. And people assume that it's a stage name. They're like, oh man, Leclerc, is that like a comedy name? Like, why would I name myself Leclerc? Right? That's not a good name. It's not a sexy name. It's a bad name. My dad named me Leclerc. Which sucks. But he also named my sister, get this, he named my sister Danielle, and he named my brother Tommy. So fuck my dad, right? Tommy, I got a brother named Tommy, and I'm just a 6'6" nigga named Leclerc all the time. I don't like it. Why would he name me Leclerc, right? I just imagine he was in the emergency room when I was born, and he was like, yeah, this one's different. I guess Leclerc, good luck. And then I just walked out of my life. I'm like, come back. What's a Leclerc? I got questions. My name sucks, man. I know my name sucks because I tried to like Google it and do some research. Turns out my name comes from a time where your name would reflect your profession. So like, you ever meet a person whose last name is Baker? That means there are some bakers in their family, or Hunter or Fisher or whatever. Apparently there were some clerks in my family who were really proud of that shit. I don't know why. And I'm glad we got away from that tradition, because there would be a lot of people out here named OnlyFans, and that's not a great way to meet a husband. I don't think you want to walk up to a girl like, yeah, my name's the Uber driver. It's like, get away from me. You are poor. You are poor on the surface. So, I'm glad that we're not doing that anymore. I don't like my name at all, man. I used to go by my middle name. Like if I met a person, they'd be like, hey, what's your name? I would just say Andre, which is my middle name. And one time I was around some friends who knew my first name and middle name. And one of them called me, one of them said, hey, Leclerc, can you get this for me? And then my other friend was like, you mean Andre? And I'm like, hey guys, I'm not Batman. It's not a big deal. And the girl got really upset. She was like, why'd you tell me your name is Andre if you tell your boys your name is Leclerc? I'm like, I'm not trying to fuck my boys. Like, this is, I want you to know my name is Andre so that we can have sex. This is what it's all about, the punani. I hate this name. I really do. I don't want it at all. But yeah, man, my wife has been trying to help me with my stand-up, which I never asked for. That's sad, right? When your wife's like, you need help with that job. I'm like, you didn't have to put up air quotes, you asshole. But yeah, my wife wrote a joke. You guys want to hear a joke that my wife wrote?
Yeah.
All right, I hope it bombs. This is a joke my wife wrote. She wants me to do it. All right, so this is a joke. I'm so happy to be married and in a loving, faithful relationship with my wife. It's much better than when I was single, dating whores. Yeah. Not to say that there's anything wrong being single, right? Single ladies, make some noise. And then all the single ladies like, woo, right? All right, cool. Now that you've all identified yourself, I'll have you know that my wife is here and she's watching you closely. All right. Well, that joke's about infidelity. Yeah, I don't know why she wants me to say that joke at every show. I'm a very loyal man. But yeah, man, it's fun doing comedy, man. It's a fun time to be alive. I don't know why my wife thinks that I would ever cheat. I would never cheat, man. But I'm still trying to adjust to like being a married guy. I remember the other day, this girl came up to me. She was like, "Hey, I was wondering," and I just cut her off immediately. I was like, "Hey, I will have you know that I am happily married for now. So circle back, maybe in the fall of next year. But right now, your boy's happily married, and I'm not fucking around." Yeah, my family's from Haiti. I have my whole family's from Haiti. That's why I got this goofy name. My mom has a very thick accent. One time when I was a kid, she mispronounced aluminum, which is a very common word to mispronounce. She mispronounced aluminum, and I started laughing at her with my brothers. We started making fun of her. And then out of nowhere, in perfect English, my mother looked at me, and in perfect English, she said, get this. She said, fuck you. So I don't know if she was like practicing in the mirror like a pirate, but she did have any accent when she wanted to curse me out, apparently. It's really sad. My mother loves America. She loves America. She loves the English language. She loves American idioms, even the ones she doesn't understand. Like one time she heard another American parent say, "When you get home, that butt is mine." And my mother's eyes lit up. She said, "Oh, what is this? Huh? What is this expression, eh?" And she looked at me and she said, "Leclerc, oof, when you get home, your butthole is mine." I'm like, well, you're going to lose custody, Mom. Those aren't the same things. That's sodomy. You're going to get arrested. And she was like, "Well, I brought you into this planet, so I kill you." Both wrong. You're going to go to jail. You're going to go to jail and you're dumb. That's a stupid thing to say. My mom was like the Haitian Riddler is what she was. She would just kick down my door and say some shit that didn't make any sense, but it was scary. One time she kicked in the door and she was like, "Leclerc, what has 2 legs and no butthole?" I'm like, I don't know, Mom. She's like, I'm like, me if I don't do my homework? And she's like, correct. That is the correct answer. I'm like, well, you're still getting arrested. I don't know. One time I got in trouble for cursing at school, and my teacher caught me, and she called me into the office, and she called my mom, and she was like, "Hey, ma'am, I just caught your child calling another child an asshole. What do you have to say for yourself, ma'am?" And my mom got really upset, and she was like, "What is an asshole?" That's what she asked my teacher, because my mom didn't speak English at all. So my teacher had to explain to my mother what an asshole was. And my mother was very upset, naturally. And she said, "Okay, put him on the phone right now." I said, "All right." And she put me on the phone, and my mother said, "Hey, when you get home, your asshole is mine. Is that better?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's much better, but it's not a good threat for you to say to a child. I'm 6. But yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun. My mom is out here being a thought. My mom's trying to have sex with people, which I don't support. I do support it. My mom is trying to get laid. She's trying to date online. She made an online dating profile, and she wasn't getting any matches. So she asked me what was wrong, and I looked at her profile, and it was just a picture of a cat. And in the bio, it said, "Yes, we can." I'm like, who are you trying to fuck, Mom? Huh? Are you trying to fuck Garfield and run for president at the same time? How does this make any sense? Nobody wants to have sex with a cat. Why do you have this slogan as your bio? But turns out she just didn't know how to use the internet. She wasn't really good at like taking pictures and all that stuff. So I set up a photo shoot for my mom, just me and her, so she could have some recent pictures. And halfway through the photo shoot, I found myself saying things to my mom that a son should never say to his mother. At one point, I was like, "Ooh, you a bad bitch." I don't know why I said that to my mom, but she took a lot of offense to that. She didn't like it at all. But yeah, man, you guys have been so much fun. Thank you guys so much for having me on your comedy show. We're doing it for Zoom. Love you guys. Thanks for having me, man.
Once again, everybody, Leclerc, please give it up for Leclerc.
Yeah.
Wow, man, yes. Twitch is over there. There's a lot of hand claps, no's. That's the feminist dirty talk that we got going on there. LOLs, dead skulls, bruh. All the time he said, "Oh man, ha ha ha." Your wife is a genius joke writer. So that's another comment that we got over there. Why a pirate? Profile gold. A lot of comments. They enjoyed your set over on Twitch. Once again, that is Leclerc. Give it up for him one more time. All right. Yes. And once again, like I said, this is the great indoors. I love this time. I definitely love it. All my life, I have been skinny. I cannot help it. I've been skinny since the day I was born. College, I wear the same clothes from high school still because I've been skinny this fucking long. But during this pandemic, I gained 600 pounds. That's right. So it was the greatest thing. I gained 600 fucking pounds. I totaled 645 pounds. I was watching my 600-pound life like, yo, y'all motherfuckers be jealous of me if you could see me, baby. I'm in here. And the greatest thing about being indoors is that I was able to get all that weight off without anybody even seeing. So for as much as they know, I've been skinny my whole life still, baby. That's what's so great about being indoors. All right. It's that time for your headliner. Everybody, I would like you to put your hands together for this comic right here. He performs all over, well, pre-pandemic. Put your hands together for Mahesh Katagi.
Thank you. I haven't left the house in 2 weeks, so this is all the performing I'm doing is in this room. Honestly, listen, the pandemic, I don't mind it because I haven't had to take an Uber in like 4.5 months, and I'm happy about that because I hated taking Ubers. I prefer taxis, taxis driven by immigrants. The less English they speak, the better. Because now Uber drivers, all they want to do is talk to you the entire time you're in the car. They want to have conversations. They want to know how you're doing. Immigrant taxi drivers, they act like you don't even exist. You get into a taxi and you just like 35th and First Avenue, please, and they just look at you, and then you can tell they're silently judging you as they're looking in that rearview mirror like this motherfucker. And then you're there. That's it. You're there. You're at your destination. You don't got to make any small talk. You don't got to do anything like that. They act like you don't even exist. You know how many times I've gotten in the back of a taxi and the guy is having a full-on conversation with one of his relatives on speakerphone, and I have to sit there in the back and pretend like I don't understand Hindi so I can eavesdrop on that conversation the whole time. Nowadays, I gotta sit in the back of an Uber and pretend like I don't speak English so I don't get into conversations. And listen, I'm the type of person, I'm not like a confrontational guy, right? Like I won't sit here and tell you I want to talk to you, but what I will do is I'll just put my AirPods in my ears and I'll just pretend like I'm listening to music. The last time I took an Uber, I remember this, because there was like a lot of red flags. If you ever take an Uber, this is a red flag. If you get an Uber and it's quiet, the guy's not listening to music, he's not listening to a podcast, not listening to a radio, that guy wants to have a conversation. I got in the back of that Uber and there was dead silence. Then I was like, oh, this guy wants to talk. So I put some headphones in my ear and I'm just sitting there pretending like I'm listening to music because apparently this is how I listen to music. It's just kind of like this. And he starts talking and I see him look at the rearview mirror and he sees that I have headphones on. He does this thing. Okay. And then I expect him to stop talking. He starts talking louder. I was like, yo, it's not the volume of your voice that I have an issue with. It's just talking in general. I was like, headphones in my ears, that's like a universal sign that I don't want to have a conversation. Kind of like, remember when people used to go to bars and clubs and hit on each other, and that was kind of fun? Like when you would see like a girl, like she's like really cute, and then you walk over to talk to her, and then you see she's got an engagement ring on? That's a universal sign that you got to bring your A game. We going to ruin this wedding or what? No, man. I think the best thing about the pandemic for me, the best thing I've been quarantined is I forgot that I'm short. I've been walking around my apartment like I'm like 7 feet tall. I'm just like putting my trash into the trash can. I'm like, damn, I should have been in the NBA. I went to go get groceries the other day and I was like, oh shit, that's what it looks like when you drink milk growing up. Okay. That makes sense. Can you help me get that cereal off the third shelf, ma'am? Okay, I appreciate it. I don't know, man. I have OCD and I'm a germaphobe too, which is not the best time to have either one of those things, let alone both of those things. So when they announced the pandemic, they're like, you're going to have to stay home, you're going to have to wash your hands constantly, and you're going to have to avoid people. I was like, oh, I can do that. I've been training for that my whole life. You want me to avoid people? I'm avoiding 15 people right now. I was like, oh, you know what? Now I got a good excuse not to leave the house. So I just started RSVPing for events like early last year. I was like, oh yeah, I'll come to your destination wedding in Mexico. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. I'll pay for my own flight and my hotel, and I'll buy you a gift too. Yeah. Stayed home, man. Whew. It is good to get out of events. I think I like, don't get me wrong, I like going out to stuff, but my favorite part about going to an event is leaving. I like to leave without saying goodbye. I like what they call the Irish exit. You guys know about that? The Irish goodbye, where you're just at an event and you're hanging out and then you want to leave and you don't say bye to anybody, you just get out. That's the Irish goodbye. I like that. That's my favorite thing, man. It's a little bit different though than the American goodbye. The American goodbye, that's when you show up to a party that you're not invited to, and then you start telling everybody at the party that it's your party, and then you kick everybody out, and then you tear down the building, and then you put it American goodbye. Oh man, I when it happened, here's the thing. Being a germaphobe, like I'm pretty clean, right? I do some weird shit. Like I do some weird stuff. I have this imaginary line in my house that if I cross over that line with my shoes, or if somebody else crosses over that line with their shoes, I gotta burn down the apartment. That is it. That is a total loss. That is disgusting. I live in New York. You know how dirty these streets are? That's the thing. I was like, you know what? Indian people, like India didn't get hit as hard with coronavirus because I was like, you know what? It's because we never shake hands. We don't do any of that contact. We do this thing, the namaste. You know what this means? This means namaste. This means, please don't touch me. I know you wear your shoes in your house. And I know some of y'all watching this shit right now on Twitch. You got your shoes, that's dirty. That is nasty. Take those shoes off, man. Listen, I grew up in Texas. I had a lot of white friends. I'm not bragging. I did. All of my white friends, they would leave their shoes on all the time. That was like the wildest thing to me, man. Even watching 90s TV shows, all right? My favorite show was a show called Boy Meets World. Great show. First of all, great show, but horrible title, right? That show was called Boy Meets World. That's a bad name for that show because I watched that show for 9 years. I never saw an Indian person or a Chinese person on that show. That's 2/3 of the world's population. I don't think it should have been called Boy Meets World. I think it should have been called Boy Meets Other White People. I think that would have been good. But that's the thing. I watched that show all the time. Corey Matthews. This guy had his shoes everywhere. He had his dirty ass sneakers on the rug, on the couch, on the bed. You bringing that shit into the bed? No. Leave that. Come on, man. That's one thing. Can we at least agree on here's two things. Can we agree on 2 things? If we leave this, we don't take anything else away from this. Just don't wear your shoes in the house. And can you please, for the love of God, stop calling it chai tea lattes. It's just chai. Chai means tea. Y'all are just saying tea lattes, which is a different thing. Sounds delicious, but totally different thing. Oh man, I learned a lot in quarantine. I learned the main thing I learned is that I'm not a first responder. Shout out to all the first responders. Shout out to all the essential employees working. You guys are doing the good work out there. That's not me, man. That is not me at all. I'm a last responder, okay? I'm the kind of guy that shows up after everything's finished, and I'm like, oh, you guys need help with? Oh no, you don't? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back to over there, minding my own business. I'm gonna be over there right now. Basically, I'm like the police in every 80s action movie. I'm just showing up at the very end of the movie after Bruce Willis like destroyed the entire terrorist ring on his own, and he's crawling out of the tower. I'm like, oh, you guys need? Oh no, you don't need. Oh, you got it. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go have some donuts. Let me know if you need me. Yeah, all right. I'll just be over here. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not a bad person. I think I'm a good person. Like, I'm a good friend. Like, I will help any of my friends move. It's just I'm also the type of guy that once y'all start moving all the heavy shit, I'm gonna just leave to go get some more packing tape or maybe donuts, something like that. You know, I'll come back. Like, oh shit, you guys moved the couch already? Oh man, I was really looking forward to it. Next time. I got you guys next time. Don't worry about it. I got you next time. I'll do that next time. Oh man, I watched a lot of TV, man. I watched a lot of TV. I think the one show that I watched is there's this movie on it was on Hulu. Okay, it was called Free Solo. It was about this rock climber, Alex Honnold. He was like climbing all these mountains with no ropes, with nothing. That's why they call it Free Solo, right? And this thing was terrifying because I'm scared of heights. I'm watching this movie, and I'm like sweating. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This guy is out of his mind. They did an interview with the guy afterwards, right? They said, listen, man, we're wondering, like, were you scared of like falling? Were you scared of dying? He's like, no, I wasn't scared of that at all. They're like, really? So naturally they did an MRI. They took him to the hospital. They're like, let's check out what's cooking in this guy's brain. This is weird shit. And they found out that the amygdala, which is like the part of your brain that like controls your fears and your emotions and stuff, it was just like really underdeveloped in him. That's why he never got scared hiking and shit. That's why he was able to do all this stuff that like normal people couldn't do. And that's when I realized, oh, I haven't been scared of everything my whole life. My amygdala is just ripped. That thing is huge. And I'm scared of a lot of shit, man. Like if me and you were walking down the street and a big dog starts running at us, I'm gonna leave. You're on your own. You know, I have to start doing that math. I'm like, I don't know, I weigh like 150 pounds. That dog looks like it weighs 70 pounds. It's got 4 legs. All right, that dog's gonna beat me, so I'm out of here. That's it. I'm gone. I just get out of the situation, man. I'm not, listen, like fighting. Like I don't like to fight. Like sure, everyone's like, oh yeah, you could fight if you got into something, right? Like yeah, I guess I could. I look at fighting kind of like I do like just doing the dishes. Like I can do the dishes, but I just prefer to pretend like I don't know how to do it. If somebody will just eventually take care of it, and that's it. That's how I choose to do things, man. That's how it is. But the thing is, during this whole pandemic, everybody was like, you got to get outside, right? You got to get outside. Like, there's not much stuff to do. You can go hiking. You can do all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me go hiking. I went hiking one time, and that's when I realized something. I was like hiking and mountain climbing and all that stuff, that's not for me. That's not for minorities, okay? If you see a minority on a mountain, we're not hiking. We're hiding. Okay, there is a very specific reason we are on that mountain, and it's not to get seen. All right, we're not taking any selfies. The less you see of us, the better it is. All right, and I noticed something. I noticed like all the minorities that were there, they were in interrelation relationships. That interracial relationships. That's what I could tell because I saw a guy. I was like, he was with this girl, and like I knew this because like the girls, they were like there's. Girl, she's a blonde girl, right? She was like completely prepared for this, right? She had on like hiking shoes. She had like yoga pants. She had like one of those little backpacks that has like a little straw where you can just like drink water as you're like climbing and all that shit. And the guy was wearing Jordans. I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work out. This is not good. That's when I realized if you're dating a white girl, you cannot get into a fight with her the night before you go hiking. There's just too many places you can get into. It was just an accident. I don't know what happened, okay? We were just there and he just disappeared. And I was like, you know what? Let me go down to get some chai tea and see what happens. And I was like, you cannot do it, man. I think here's the thing with the whole pandemic and everything. I think the only people that got it right was the NBA. Leclerc was talking about the NBA earlier. I was like, NBA, I think they're the only ones that got the pandemic right? They had the bubble. Everybody stayed there. Like they finished out the season. That was really cool. And like I loved it. That was like I think probably the better part of the pandemic for me. But I was thinking, I was like, it wasn't as like exciting for me this year because I'm like, dude, like almost like there's so many people in the NBA that are like 7 feet tall now. I'm like, it's not as exciting to see somebody that's 7 foot tall dunk. You know what would make the NBA even more exciting? I think they need to have a height maximum. I think they got to do it like 5'7" and less. Now you're in the NBA. That would be very interesting. You see a 5 foot tall guy dunk? That's cool shit. Okay, that is very fun. You know, think about that. If you had to be 5'7" or less, like the NBA would look so different, right? That's when it would be my time to get into the NBA, right? I'm like, oh, I'm in this now. Like the draft would be totally different. They'd be like first round draft pick. New Orleans Pelicans choose Suresh Bhatta, coming in at a 5'2" tall. And then it's just like, just me. That's it. I would be it. I don't know. I haven't written the ending to that joke. That's kind of where that is. That's a pandemic joke. I can't hear everybody on Twitch, but I'm pretty sure some of you are just really confused right now. So that's actually all that I had. Thanks, guys. Thanks, AJ.
No doubt. That's just what you're gonna leave us with right there, my guy.
That is. Thanks for having me.
That's what happens when we're in the great indoors. Oh man, on Twitch we was getting there was a lot of sick faces, dead skulls. Yes, when you were talking about the white people wearing their shoes in the house, they were like, nah, and it was like, yes, nasty with it, Corey. People were loving the white feet shoes in the house. So thank you again to everybody that tuned in today. This was the great outdoors, the great indoors. I'm so sorry. I want to go outside so bad that every indoor thing has been related to outdoors. Thank you again for tuning into the great indoors. We've had stand-up comic Khalid, we had Leclerc, we had AJDUNK, and we had our headliner Mahesh Katagi. Make sure that you follow, subscribe at the Litverse so you get notifications about future stand-up shows. We plan on doing this show a couple more times, so make sure you subscribe. You get that alert. We don't have to go and tell you. It's going to tell you yourself. Subscribe to the Litverse so you can get notifications about the great indoors. We will be back again with new comics and new material, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for coming out to your living room and tuning in. We appreciate that greatly at the Litverse. Have a good night, enjoy the rest of it, and see you soon.